All right, third time's a charm. It's been a rough day. Getting over my cold and stuff has got me hacking. Let's adjust my screen. Today, I'm going to show you how to do something cool. I found this thing a long time ago. It's been around for quite some time. It's a little miniature heads-up display. It does a bunch of neat, cool things. There's a couple of different varieties, and I'm going to show you how to use it. And I'll create a table for this and put a link in the description for a Savage Worlds version of this. So yeah, all right, let's get after it. First things first, some kudos. Right monitor, full screen. This is the original one. It is called Miniature Heads Up Display. It's a utility thing that you can get that does a bunch of different stuff. It puts markers and whatnot on it. It was made by ThatRobHuman's Game Tools. The one that I'm using is this one here called Ttrpg Mini Hud. Explain the difference between the two. Essentially, they're the same thing. I've got them both on the table, and I'll show you kind of how they work. Shooting back to the old tabletop stimulator table. This one over here is the TTRpg Mini Hud. That's this one here you can see, and this one over here. I've got them with different configurations. But this Mini Hud injector is the original version of it. So you can take a thing like movement, and you can add movement onto your Mini. Let's remove this vertical. Another thing you can do, you can add this to the token. Now you can see that it's gone upright. Switch to vertical, remove the script, add it again, and it should go, oops, I hit the wrong one. There, so it's your choice. You can have it horizontal or vertical, which is kind of cool. I prefer vertical. And then you can take this off of here. Show you some of the other things that it does quickly. So under bars, he's got 2 bars. They have no color. They have nothing going on, and they're 5 out of 10 is what they currently are set at. You can put text on the bars. So if I put one at text, and I'll put the bottom one at big, move, add, and you'll be able to kind of see the difference when I pull it off and show it to you on the table. The top has text. It's white. You can change it to whatever color you want. You'll see it on other ones. And the bottom one has no text and is big. It's a little bit thicker than the other one. There is a button here that opens up an ability to move or select your distances. So he has a max distance of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Go check my grid. So if I set the grid on my table to 1 and 1, you'll see that it's set there. And I go to, let's turn the grid on so that you can see it working. This doesn't work 100%. It's kind of goofy. Center, down, and I didn't turn it on like I intended to. Show lines. Pick this guy up, we'll snap him to center, and you'll see that each one of these, excuse me, lines up to center. If you hit the plus mark, it will move ahead. Works fantastic if you just have one 1-inch grid, but it gets screwy. You do it on a 2-inch grid. So if I change the grid to 2 by 2, move this guy, say, back over here a little bit, drop him right in the middle. We'll hit the, whatchamacallit again, the little directional deal. We hit the plus. See, he's only moved 1, 2, 3 squares, even though it is set for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It doesn't sort of readjust itself. However, you can take this and see that the scale of the model is set to 1. If you change it to 2, 2, and 2, we swing it over here, you'll see that graphically it lines up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's how many spots you have. The problem now is that it doesn't move the 5 spots. It'll only move half the distance. Only moved technically what it thinks is 5 spots, but we've doubled the grid, so it's kind of a little bit of a screwy kind of a thing. So I haven't really used it. I do like the idea that it moves by itself. Click on this thing and you can just sort of point it in the direction of where you want to go. It does have these cool little features here where you can say, I want to go this way, around the corner, and hit the plus, and it kind of sort of, you see how it rotates and does its deal. So neat feature, very cool. Turn off the grids. We don't need to see those, and we'll put this back to, let's say, 1. Get. All right, so that's kind of one goofy feature that doesn't really work. It might be handy in your games. Who knows? Maybe if you just want to mark distances, but you don't really care if the thing moves itself, so you don't want to pick it up and do its deal. Here is one that I have created. The trick with this is that it only works from the back side. So if you spin it around, you see how this is in reverse? There's no buttons to press on this side. It literally needs to be done from the back side, and then you can access everything. So you can hit the minuses, yada, yada, yada. Now, how this is going to be handy in Savage Worlds is if you got like a rate of fire 3 gun and you need to knock out, you do a rate of fire 3 shot, it's going to take something like 20 bullets to do its business. And so with ThatRob's Mini Hud injector that has the shields, movement, geometry, it's got all the extra features. It doesn't have this one cool feature that I think is going to speed up, in the name of fast, furious, and fun, which is when you click over here, you'll see there's a T. So I could just type in 20, hit enter, and it automatically goes 80 of whatever, and I've done my rate of fire. This is a feature that has not been implemented in the other one. So if I want to add 20, I just hit that, and away we go. I'll try not to cough in your ear while I record. So that is why I have chosen the second one in the list, which is Ttrpg Mini Hud. It's the one that has that feature. Some of the different things you can do with this, you can set the scale factor. As you scale yours up 1 to 1, it can scale up 2 to 1. You can choose the vertical offset. Now for this big galoot over here, I had to put them on here, load from Mini. You'll see that I had to change the vertical offset to 5 just to get it to show up on his head because he's so much bigger than the rest. But it does work. A little bit of screwing around and away you go. He has the same 2 bars. It's easy to add bars. Let's move this guy out of the way because it's him. Put these 2 side by side. These are the same. The only difference between the 2 of them is that I've put shaken wounds, spell points, and ammo on this one. And on the other one, it just has spell points and ammo. Now this orange might not work. Might have to find the color, but that's easy to do. So let's put this guy here. We're going to hit remove, and we're going to hit add. Now, when I hit the plus on this guy, you'll notice it's not showing up. I got this guy around. There's no color. And for some reason, it doesn't understand orange. But the fix is just go here, hit the color tint, orange. Here you have the hex for it. Control C. Where it says orange here, you just hit hashtag and paste that in. This guy back on there. So this, remove the script, add the script again, and now you should see that that orange color will work. Sometimes you can write them in, sometimes you can't. Oops, I put it on backwards. Button. There. Gabushka. Now, on this one here, he's got the red would symbolize wounds, whatever you want. It doesn't have the writing on there. Hit F8. He's set to 1. So if we go 2, 2, 2, make him a little bit bigger, you can see that everything is increased. So it does scale. Now the trick with this is, if you wanted to see what else was going on, you can pop this over here and you can just hit text on all of these. Text, text, text. Or you can just choose it on one. I wouldn't put it on shaken, because it's just a one-on-one thing, but we will put it on the rest. Move, add, move this over here. Now we've got the numbers written on. You can say that on, am I on the back side again? Where's my text bar? If you hit your plus, I was thinking to myself, I could use this to symbolize shaken. It's either on or off. He's either shaken or he's not shaken. The wounds symbolization, 3 of 3, and then obviously you roll for incapacitated. Spell points, click, click, click. Take off a couple. reason, scale him back down to 1. The offset might need to be a little bit higher. Let's try 111 and see if I can get the text. Nope, he's not working with the text for some reason. All right, so moving over to the old human thief. We'll do the same thing with him. He's got spell points. Remove any scripts. We'll put this on him. Human thief over. Right HUD? Yeah, Ttrpg Mini Hud. Spin this guy around. He shoots off 100 bolts. Bada bing. One of the things that I did for the old Savage Worlds conversion, or that these things have as an extra feature, is you can add tokens to them. If I hit Control-C, let's drop down a couple radiation tokens, and we are going to drop one on this guy. Bada bing, there it is there. And so you can see that you might not need to use this bar for shaken, because you can build a shaken token, you can build wound tokens, so you might not need these two top bars. Might make it a little bit simpler. Some tokens, when you set the script up, will drop once, some will drop multiple times. So you can see, for example, you can't put radiation on more than once. But if you grab a fatigue token that I created, we'll drop these down a couple of times. We could put fatigue on this thief. Now it might show up white, but here, X, it pop back up. If you want to drop fatigue on twice, how it got to 5, but it did. Here's the clear markers button. That back down. 1 fatigue. For some reason, turned into 2. I love it when it works awesome. Loves it when I'm trying to show something and it doesn't work out. Let's go over here. Move the script. Add the script. Let's try this again. Fatigue on human. Yep, so weird. Worked perfectly before. Now it's showing up as doubles. Does this show up as 4? It's awesome. Do not know why it's doing that, but you get the gist. If I come over here, these are the tokens that I've created. You've got stunned, bound, aim, distracted, defend, fatigue, entangled, prone, hold, wounded, incapacitated, vulnerable, and shaken. So grab the old shaken token, head over to your old roguey, drop this guy down here, and push. Now he, again, doesn't show it. It does now. So you can't drop a shaken token on more than once. It will just ignore it because it's got the parameter set to false. Same thing goes with, incapacitated. You can only drop that on once. They do work. It doesn't actually work this bad. There's hold one. Sometimes they get a little goofy. Yeah. Right out of the VTT box, shaken, hold, etc., etc. Click on this deal here. Let's remove shaken, and he's no longer on hold, but he still is aiming. And there you go. Take off some ammo, 1 or 2 shots, kind of a thing. But it's pretty cool. I'm going to create a table. Actually going to overwrite a table that I have because these tokens are already available somewhere on the workshop as Savage Worlds status tokens and D&D conditions. Excuse me, I know I'm muting out my coughing, but I'm going to put this on this table, Savage World status tokens. I'll probably rename it to Heads Up Display. What I've also done that is pretty cool is I've converted all of these into a single state. So rather than have to have all of these things sitting on your table, you literally just need to have this one. Excuse. So this one is aim. If I've created token or states, sorry. There's aim, distracted. They're all distracted shows up second in front of bound, but entangled. Wow, I'm going to have to go over and redo this thing again. I'll correct all of the whatchamacallit on this. Where's wounded? Change it to the wounded token. And it drops incapacitated. Perfect. It's exactly what I wanted it to do. This is so dumb when it doesn't work properly. Aim and wounded. So for whatever reason, it dropped it twice. Maybe the scripting isn't too shit hot, and sometimes all you got to do is just hit the gear and fix it, and you're off to the races. But that's all I wanted to show you. It's kind of all you can do. It's easy to create new bars. It's also easy to remove bars if you don't want, and you can add or find other tokens. This one is supercharged for whatever reason. You can find heads-up display tokens on TTS and just drop them on and create your own kind of a thing just by doing some stuff. But yeah, there's some Savage Worlds tokens for you. That's it. Peace out, suckers.